Essential Podcast. Hey, one more time. Come on. Welcome to the Eric Zane Show Podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day of the work week for, well, this a long time. We're going on 3 years, 6 months of this, and so very, very happy to have you here from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio, where we do it again. All right. All right, hang on a second here. We got so much going on. Beauty and love, joy, happiness, and nothing but solitude. Solitude? Is that something you want? Kenny says, is it time to bash the zenith? No, my friend, no. All is good. All is well. Holy cow. All right. Now, I just finished up this show on the huge show, and I can't tell you how much fun that was. It was really, really great. And I figured out why I like radio so much. Because when you do a show like this on the podcast, you it leaves nothing to the imagination. You can say whatever you want within reason. I mean, I can't start talking shit like Alex Jones and get canceled. By the way, more on him later on today on the show. You can't do that, but you can pretty much say whatever you want, and it's very loosey goosey, and there's no I don't know. It's just there's good and bad. There's positive things in both of these, but I had forgotten what I like about radio. And that is the difference being that when you do a podcast, you can just say whatever you want, like I indicated. But when you get onto the radio, it's a little bit different. You have to have this bit of controlled chaos where it can kind of appear that it could go off the rails, but not exactly. If you do, then it's kind of it when you know that there's a mixed bag of people listening, you're more uptight about it. And for some reason I like it. And that's a little weird because it's kind of I cringe when I think about radio and its viability for the future. I really do. I still like it. Even if no one's listening to it, I still like it. That's just the way it is. Chris writes, just listening to the huge show, and I was so hoping that Lomas Brown brought up your impersonation. And, that's interesting that you bring that up. I can no longer do an impersonation of Lomas Brown, and I can't make fun of him in any way, shape, or form because it's funny till you know him, right? Isn't that what we used to say? It's funny because I don't know him. But as soon as you speak with someone, it's like, all right. So now I can't really. It was a good conversation. He refers to himself though in the third person though, and as the big fella. Hey Lomas, how you doing? I don't want to do the impression. The big fella's doing good. Oh, who's that? That's me. Oh. Chris writes, it was fun to listen to you on the radio again. He says, I love Twitch and the show, but it's a fun change of pace and a different cadence on the radio, and it was fun. Thought you did well mixing in sports in your way, and as always, the huge impressions were on point. I also have a few questions for Kyle. We are going to do Let's Kill with Kyle today. He missed yesterday. He had things going on. I guess one of you interacted with not Black Emilio in the wild, Gabe D. And I can't wait to share it with Kyle as to how that interaction went with not Black Emilio. So Terry says no more slowness. Yeah, I can't do it now. It's I don't know. It's weird because I know all of you, but I make fun of you. But it's different with him. I think because he's not in on the joke. You know? Of course, Nick takes it here and writes, this is what makes me think Eric would be the submissive in a dom-sub relationship. And I think I know what those terms mean, but I'm not entirely sure. He enjoys being forced to submit to standards. What a strange little wayward cretin you are. You realize you're one of the world's most disgusting human beings with that statement right there. No one wants to be around you because of a statement like that. Dennis actually says something intelligent. He says, the Lomas interview was awesome. You did this from home or did you go downtown? I actually went to the radio station and was hanging out. And that's something else. I like being, it's fun getting out of the house. I've said that before. I love getting out of here, you know? All right. So that was kind of like a big part of yesterday. We had Lomas Brown on. I brought in Dog Thompson from the Griffins. I had Darren McCarty on, who's just a joy to talk to. Well, they all were. It was great fun. And then I got a chance to pick on Bill quite a bit. And I think, to me, the most memorable thing about that show, and it always works out this way, it's always the off-the-cuff moments that take place. You just fall into, and I've always been a believer in that. And I actually have a moment here that I want to play for you, another bit of audio like I did yesterday. And I've wanted to post these shows myself from the Huge Show, but if you search the Huge Show on any podcasting app, you'll be able to find this if you want to hear it. Bear with me. I got to actually thumb my way through it here, but the very, very last segment of this show, we were I had to come back from a commercial break and do a read for Brands, the local restaurant steakhouse chain. And this is how it went.
Oh my gosh, legendary 6-ounce steak and bake sizzling sirloin top with their blend of seasoning and brushed with garlic butter and baked potato, just $10.99. You can substitute a twice baked potato. Have you ever had a twice baked potato? You know.
Oh yeah.
You know what goes into that, right? You got to mash it and then you got to bake it.
Yeah.
It's so twice.
Bake it 2 times.
They got to do 3. You take all that and fry it.
Oh, triple baked potato.
Also, add a side salad for $1.99. Add mushrooms, onions, or flavors for $1.99. Sorry, no potato substitutions. That's a hard and fast rule. If you try to substitute potatoes, they'll say, get out. There's no potato substitutions here. Bill tried that once. Johnny Brand Sr. said, get out. You're dead to me.
He's the reason that they don't do it anymore.
He said, I've tried to tell you. There's no potato substitutions here. And Bill said, I'm huge. They named a steak after me or something. I think, remember there was like a huge burger?
Yeah, there was a huge burger.
I think there might still be.
Yeah.
There should be.
I think so.
And Bill tried that with Johnny Brand. And it was at poker night. He said, I think there should be potato substitutions. Johnny said, do I tell you who to interview on The Huge Show? And there's silent. Met with silence. Johnny said, I asked you a question. Do I tell you what to do on The Huge Show? He says, nobody tells me what to do on The Huge Show. That's why I don't get air checks. Okay, that happened. And then that led into it. And then Johnny, you know those, when you play poker, you got that little carousel that holds the chips?
Oh, yeah.
You ever seen soccer when they inbound the soccer ball with two hands?
Yep.
Johnny grabbed the carousel and with two hands, like he's inbounding a soccer ball, bounced the whole thing off Bill's face. The chips went flying everywhere. It was a hell of a racket. And he said, that's what I think about your potato substitutions. Now don't come back. Stop. It was a huge fight. It was terrible. It spilled out into the street, broken plate glass. Plate glass. I can't even say it. The poker chips, the cards, money, cops. It was terrible.
Potatoes.
All because of potatoes. Anyway, some of that is true. Go to Brands, and you can get all of that stuff. Hey, you know what? If Bill wants me to do the What's on Tap segments, I will do those for free. If he ever needs me to call in and tell more amazing stories about the potato substitution.
And that's my favorite. That's my favorite segment of the whole show. It was fun though. I'm getting various comments about how different it sounds. Yeah, I've noticed that too. That is not my natural voice. This is my natural voice. I keep this microphone. This microphone is built to do the work appropriately. It doesn't really need a big boost, you know? So it's remarkable to me that I'm not sure what exactly is going on there. Corey is kind of a sound file. He says it sounds very artificial and compressed. I'm with you. Yeah, I wish I don't have any. That's the engineers, you know. The way I like it better on this and this little rinky-dink setup that I have at this house. It's not it's not over digitized or whatever the fuck they're doing. But you're right about that. It does have it does sound different. So, but still enjoyed it. It was a good time over there, and yeah, very much a ton of fun. Okay. There is an absolute crisis going on, and you might be like, well, yeah, but there's so what? You know, come on, you're making a big deal about this. This is a huge deal. Huge. 40% of the nation's baby formula supply is gone. Well, it's like they need 100% to feed the United States babies, baby formula. And there's a massive shortage, and this is fucked up, okay? And you might think, well, all you have to do is think about somebody you know who's got a baby right now, and this is a legit deal. Now, not every mother or whatever who's ever having, like, it could be, you could be worried about your grandkids or your daughter who's a mother or the baby, whatever. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of people that are affected by this. There's no baby formula. They're down a huge amount of it. And, you know, as it goes, not every mother can breastfeed a baby. If you are fortunate enough to have that happen, then okay, you're good as gold. You're doing the old breast pump, and then the baby drinks it right from the tap. So it's all good to go. But a lot of people, like Diana, she was not able to breastfeed any of our kids. So we had, oh my God. I tell you what, when you're raising kids, the way to get rich is when you start raising your children and you're utilizing formula and diapers. Okay? And then you're scraping every penny together to get that food. And then it's so expensive. Oh my God. To get, I remember like scraping money to go get a can of Similac, our last dollars, or diapers. The cost is so extravagant. When they do get out of the diapers and get out of the formula, don't start spending that extra money. If you invested it, you'd be a millionaire. If you just never, ever took that money and spent it, you actually took it and then spent it on yourself and paid yourself back. Oh, my God. That is a quick way to get rich, at least by the time you're ready to retire. Holy crap. ton of money. So moms everywhere are freaking out because they're like, hey, do you have any? No, we don't have any. And then there's an article that I was reading about how could this happen in America. Now, everybody is blaming, I did that, Joe Biden for this. And it's like, I don't know how you could possibly blame him. Okay, first of all, if you're a mom and your child only consumes formula, your little one, and suddenly you can get no formula, pretty much your options are keep looking or go to one of these, if the child can drink breast milk, a breast milk bank. Because you can't just go on like Facebook Marketplace and buy breast milk. Okay? And so because there's like regulations, you could be getting the milk from a lady who's strung out on heroin. Okay? And then, you give it to your kid and the kid's dead. There's all sorts of FDA things that have to go into it. The FDA is saying that if after talking to your doc, you decide to feed a baby with human milk from a source other than the baby's mother, you should only use milk from a source that has screened its milk donors and taken other precautions to ensure the safety of its milk. Lawmakers are doing what they always do and making this a political thing and blaming Joe Biden. But the long and the short of it is there was a massive recall put in place by the company that makes Similac, which accounts for a huge amount of the nation's baby formula supply. Many women who nurse still supplement with formula if their milk supply is low. In fact, around 50% of moms either give their babies breast milk and formula or just give their babies formula. Supply chain issues and inflation have contributed to the shortage, but Abbott Nutrition, who makes Similac, the recall of several major brands in February, seems to have taken the issue from a problem to a crisis. The recalls were necessary. 4 babies fell ill, 2 died from drinking infections caused by consuming formula that had Chronobacter something bacteria in it. Facility was shut down, has not yet reopened, and it gets worse. A whistleblower alleged as far back as October that the company Abbott had been covering up the fact that some of the batches of formula were contaminated. The Food and Drug Administration delayed inspections until January. Both may be culpable here. Did the FDA alert other brands of a possible supply crisis? Abbott produces Similac, which is about 40% of the entire market share. Still, there are upwards of 50 other formula brands available in the marketplace. Where are they? For months, according to this article, we've been talking about the supply chain crisis. This is apparently what it looks like when it hits home. And I don't mean you didn't get your latest Amazon Prime fine in 2 days. I mean you're feverishly worried that the 4 cans Target lets you buy online will last until you can find more. This is legit. This is pretty fucked up. A manufacturing and delivery cycle now takes between 12 and 16 weeks from start to finish. Between freight delays, labor shortages, and winter storms, the 2021 supply chain issue created a 2022 supply chain crisis. Now, I don't believe that this is Joe Biden's fault. Lawmakers are saying, well, you've known about this since February. Why didn't you do anything, President Biden? You should have had a plan in place. And it's like, well, what the fuck? I mean, I don't understand what you could possibly expect. You got a company that makes 40% of the market share that goes basically extinct or belly up or shuts down because of this recall. What's he supposed to do? Wave his magic wand? Is he supposed to order General Motors to stop making cars and make baby formula? Because that, you know how it is when they're during wartime. You must stop building cars and build us tanks. And somehow they managed to do that. I don't. That's crazy. That's amazing in itself. But I don't think that it's quite the same for baby formula. I mean, maybe it is. Is this what he's being blamed for? Not building a plant to make baby formula for the world? So I'm a little bit, I'm not buying this grandstanding by Republicans demanding the Biden administration immediately address the baby formula shortage. This is not a third world country, said Representative Elise Stefanik, a Republican from New York, speaking in front of the rotunda in D.C., saying this, and they're all gathering around, laying blame on Joe Biden, and he's like, what the fuck? You know? So now people are going to take the I did that stickers, okay? This is a verbal trademark idea. You assholes can go get your I did that stickers and put them on the clear cases at Walgreens where they lock up the formula because it's all empty shelves now. This is to be the next thing. That's actually a great idea. Ultimately, you don't want Biden in office. So what you should do is anything that's going on in the world, you get an I did that sticker and you put it on it. Dead deer on the side of the road? I did that. Similac shortage? I did that. My podcast is shitty. I put one on my forehead. I did that. That is where this is going right now. All right. Sarah makes a good point. I don't know. They quickly made a bunch of vaccines. That's a funny joke, but you realize the companies that were making the vaccines make vaccines for a living. All of the other companies that are making formula right now are working very hard, but suddenly the market share is depleted. The plant that makes the Similac is shut down. All right. Nick amazingly says Biden is not to blame for the shortage. It has to do with the recall. That's shocking to me that you would write something so thoughtful, frankly. That is you have surprised me with that. So no, this is not a Biden thing. Okay? The government can't help us when something like this happens. Let's not be stupid about this. However, we may have the recipe for repairing this just like that. Okay. Stay with me here. I see the two people in the audience that can fix this. One person's name is Kenny. The other person's name is Amanda. If Kenny has vicious sex with Amanda and she gets pregnant with Kenny's bald baby, Amanda will give birth to Kenny's baby. And then Amanda will be lactating. And that is, well, it's the Niagara Falls of tit milk, okay? That is what we will have there. Thank you. Tyler knows. He says those missile tits will become titty milk fountains. Oh, it'll be like when you turn on a fire hose. And she will become an absolute patriot. You know how back in wartime, World War II, you had Rosie Riveter rolling up her sleeve and let's get to work, America. She will be the new Rosie Riveter. It will be Rosie Titter. And it'll be, she'll be there with it. And it'll be like a propaganda piece where she's holding her titties with milk shooting out of them. And it's like nourishing America. There's like a map below it. as she sprays. Pellerito says, blow the kid's head off with the milk rapids. Jesse says you don't even need to have sex or get pregnant. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know the logistics of how you make a woman lactate, but I know that is one way to do it. And we all want those two to have sex anyway, and they should. They need each other. Opposites attract. All right? That was very nice of you, Nick, to give that to our Healy 69. Gave him a subscription. All right. So that's where I stand. That is my Eric Zane Show podcast. Quick fix to the formula shortage. I want to thank everyone who has been watching the show on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But the time has come for me to kick you to the curb like I like to do. I like to provide the open of the show, and then for the rest of the show, you need to go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Or download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live, and off you go. You can continue enjoying the show. That's the point of giving you the intro of the show on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thank you, and goodbye. I sound like I'm drunk.